Hello, my friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing on a Friday. On a Friday? What's going on here, Kevin? That's right. A Friday unboxing. I told you guys last time I might just pop in here and there. So I've kind of put my Tuesday night regular schedule on hiatus. I'm coming on here when I can. Guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And yeah, let's make sure my sound's going all right. I think it is. Hello. How you doing, Bad Armory? Hey, Hector, how's it going? Dannon, what's happening? Guys, yeah, it's been a kind of a rough week. I've had some little health issues I've been dealing with, so I've been feeling all that fantastic lately, to be quite honest. And so I'm going to come on here when I can, when I feel up to it. And I kind of felt up to it, and I had a few boxes to share. I'm only going to share 2 boxes with you today because I do have to get out of here in about an hour. So that should get us through, through the 2 boxes and perhaps answer any questions you might have about comic pressing, comic cleaning, comic grading, any questions you might have, and also fill you in on what's going on over here as well. Okay. Anything else I got to tell you before I start? No, I think I'll just get right to it. Okay. So first off, hey, look at nothing like starting a show off with a 9.9, eh? Modern book, of course, 9.9. J. Scott Campbell, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Not bad, 9.9. Are there any more 9.9s? I don't know. I pulled these guys right out of the box like moments ago, so I don't know what else is in here. We have a 9.6 copy of ASM 350 with Hydro Man. Another McFarlane book here. Get these. Oh, my microphone's been acting kind of wonky too, so hopefully that will hold off for the entire show. Another 9.8. We've got a Spider-Gwen number 16 and a 9.8. We have some Signature Series books mixed in here as well, and I think one order from one customer coming up as well too, a full box. Now, guys, if you see your books in this batch today and you want to pick them up tomorrow, ain't happening. So just wait till the following Saturday. I will not have these sorted tonight at all. So I'm sorting my books that I already have organized for tomorrow. They'll be there tomorrow for those of you that made appointments. I think I'm all booked up actually. And yeah, I'll be back the following week. So if you see your stuff in here, I'll probably have these sorted by Monday, and then we can see you on the following Saturday. Okay, Ultimate Wolverine #1, 9.8, right there. Louie's there. How you doing, Louie Mendoza? How you doing? Mickey's here. How you doing? Good to see you. Joey Lane. Hey, Kevin. Hope you're doing well. A great day for an unboxing. That's what I said. It's a great day for an unboxing. Let's get to it. So, I guess I'll give you a bit of an update as to what's going on. Look, I don't know what the hell's happening over at CGC. I called them on Wednesday. Wednesday, I phoned them. They answered, no problem. I sent a priority box last Wednesday. It arrived there last Thursday, which was October 30th. It landed October 30th, and it's been sitting there. And, for over a week now. I called them on Wednesday. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to it. They haven't gotten to it yet. It's been almost a week. And that's really strange. It's never taken quite that long to unbox. So I don't know what's going on over there. They didn't tell me whether they were busy or whatever. They just, oh, yeah, we're going to get to it. So things are slowing down over there, whether it's a staffing issue or just a really all of a sudden millions of comics came in for grading. I have no idea. Maybe it's a Todd McFarlane craze. I don't know. But anyways, a 9.8 copy of Spider-Gwen number 16, Johnson variant cover. We also have Captain America 700. Jim Lee looks like cover, remastered sketch edition, a 9.8. Hector says, hope one day Spider-Gwen gets her own live action movie. I got a feeling it's going to happen. Mickey asks, or Mikey, sorry, says, did you sort out PSA? No, I have not. I am still waiting. Again, until I get my refund, I ain't sending nothing back. And again, the folks I deal with at PSA are fantastic. I love talking to them. They're good people. I'm not sure what's happening on the other side, in the back end, the whatever, accounting or what have you. All I know is I haven't gotten my refund yet. And this is going on a month now. And there's been a lot of shows, and I get that. It gets busy. I get it. But still, like, I got operations to run too, right? And I'm sorry to you guys who are waiting for your PSA stuff to go out. It's just, I ain't sending nothing out until it's all sorted. It's too much. As for the cards, behind me, you can't see it. I got a bunch of cards from my first order that I have to still sort. I plan on doing that this weekend. Again, the issue with that is they messed up the shipping, and I paid a lot of money for this shipping. And I asked regarding, you can help out with this, guys, because you guys said you promised to send it this way. You sent it that way, and it cost me, for example, about $130 for one card. So what are we doing here? Are you going to help out or what? Am I on the hook for all this? If I'm on the hook for all this, then this is it. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I won't do PSA. If they're going to stand up and take responsibility for the fact that they messed up, then we'll have more to talk about. That said, I certainly won't be sending any more cards directly to California. I just won't do it. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. Guys, I can only do what I can do. I send out requests. I send out emails. I'm just waiting on them to respond back to me. I want to work with them. I want to make it work, but I'm one guy and I got a lot of moving parts, and I can't wait on a company that's not going to be responsive. I asked to speak with the fella who runs PSA Canada. I want a phone number or an email. Crickets. Again, up in Toronto this week, it's the National Card Show. It's a huge event. It's very busy. So I know they're busy with that. I understand that. But, just give me the guy's phone number so I can contact him. I'm not going to send your stuff to some place that I have not spoken to the guy who runs it. Ain't happening. I'm not opposed to using PSA Canada. I'm not. But I got to know what their situation is like. I want to know what their operation's all about. I want to talk to the person who runs it. I'm sending your stuff somewhere else. I have to be comfortable knowing that it's in good hands. I want to know the proper turnaround times. I want to know all the costs involved. See, I went into this really expecting the shipping costs not to be the way they are, only because I requested, the kind of shipping I have with CGC, and it's worked out quite well. Now, when CGC screws up, like they do with the video games and the VHS, we've talked about this in the past, the pricing goes up, it's too much. So I just stopped. I'm not doing CGC video games, CGC VHS, CGC cards. Done. Not doing it. If they can't get their act together, I ain't sending any more of your stuff out there. The comics are still working well. It's a well-oiled machine, I guess. But yeah, so I hate to tell you this, Mikey. I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear back. I am going to organize these cards, and I'm going to put together a shipping cost, an actual shipping cost. I'm not going to make money on the shipping, guys. I'm just asking to get money back for what I put out in them. So I'll kind of just do a kind of an average price per card, and then I'll just get everybody's stuff back to them. I don't like having this stuff here as long as I've had it, and live and learn, right? I guess it's the way it works. Courtney, how's it going? Congratulations on the nuptials, by the way. I saw that on Instagram. And the Joy Lane says, I have no problem with it. Trust you. I agree with you holding off till you're resolved. Yeah, I'm not going to keep sending stuff in until we're on the same page. Now, PSA does ship back their comics properly. Like, they're sending them the way I've requested it so far. But I'm very, very nervous. And if my sound goes off, guys, please tell me, because this microphone's been acting. Ooh, I just turned it off. Let's make sure it's still working. I think it's still going. All right. I'm just not going to keep sending them stuff if they're going to keep messing up. I just ain't going to do that. So we'll see. All right, let's keep going here. We got some Signature Series stuff, some nice Signature Series stuff. We've got Ultimate Spider-Man #1 by Mark Cicchetto in a 9.8. We have another one signed by Mark Cicchetto in a 9.8. Very cool. And a third one signed by Mr. Mark Cicchetto, Daredevil, in a 9.8. Very cool. That might be the last of the Signature Series stuff from Fan Expo. It might be. I got one more here, Daredevil. Or no, sorry, all new Wolverine #2, signed by Daphne Keene, in a 9.4. Not a bad looking book. I think I know why it's a 9.4, but anyways, there you go. Cool book. Brouhaha, been a while. Good to see you. Dave V, good to see you as well. Been a while. I'm glad to catch you live again. Good to see you, Kevin. David, you as well. Dan says, my books being pressed and cleaned and going into top loaders for now. It seems like all grading is a mess right now. I really don't know what's going on with CGs. They don't tell you jack shit. You send them in and you wait. What's irritating about that is I sent in like when I send, if clients from the US or if you give me books under your account, I'll ship them in the box with my own stuff. When they get them, everything is shrink wrapped, separately. So they'll get your order and I've got about 2 or 3 other client stuff in that order. Plus, I've got some really big books in there sitting there for a week in limbo. They should have been graded by now. Like you pay for unlimited service, a lot of money, and they sit in a freaking receiving room for a week. That's bullshit. Anyways, am I surprised? Am I? 9.4 copy of X-Men 129 with a custom label. Hector likes those custom labels. They do look pretty nice. We've got, a nice copy of X-Men 100. Check this guy out. And a 9.2. That's a nice grade on that. We have an Amazing Spider-Man 96 and a 6.0. Dave, how's it going? Yeah. You know what? I'm going kind of back to my roots where I just kind of go on when I can. I'll probably get back to a regular weekly show again. But again, until my health kind of settles down, I feel a little bit better. I don't like to time myself into it. Tuesday, man, I was out of commission on Tuesday and Wednesday and most of Monday too. All right. We have a copy of Doctor Strange 169 and a 6.0. Another Amazing Spider-Man, number 98. In 5.5 is one of those drug issues. The comics code is not there on this one in a 5.5. BA1, happy Friday back at you. Hector, it's not that I've been sick. Another one here in an 8.0, another one of the drug issues, and number 97. It's for me, it's blood pressure. I was having issues. I've been on blood pressure medication for years and years, and the stuff I was on just sort of caused me a lot of headaches. I was getting tons of headaches. So the doc took me off and put me on a new set of drugs, and it's taken a few weeks. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks of like this, and it got really high last Sunday. I actually went to the hospital on Monday. It was so bad. So that's what I'm dealing with. Getting old, my friends, getting old. What's really strange is I lost a bunch of weight, and you think you get better, but it actually kind of made things kind of worse. Okay, all new Venom, number 5, signed by John Tyler Christopher, in a 9.6. Mary Jane Venom issue. Hope you get better, though, Hector. There is something going around, that is for sure. We got an Amazing Spider-Man 300 and a 9.2 with a great custom label there. Todd McFarlane cutoff date has come and gone. We probably could take a few more. If you have any comics that you would like signed by Todd McFarlane, if we get them like this week, like Monday, Tuesday, we could probably still handle them. Wolverine number 8 and an 8.0. BA1, that'd be great. Come on the show sometime and sell your wares. BA1's got some fantastic, these little great packs of comics he puts together over on Facebook. Check him out on Marketplace. BA1, why don't you put down where they can find you on Facebook, and they can see your beautiful packages and your comic assortments, and you put these wonderful packs together. But we would love to open one on here, and it would be great to have you on here with me doing it. James says, hey, what's the turnaround time these days for CGC? It's not terrible once they open your friggin' box, that is. I'm still quoting myself, pressing, cleaning, grading. 3 to 4 months, and it's usually less than that. Now that could change. It just depends on how busy we get at the shop and how busy they get at CGC. So something obviously is going on over there that they've had to slow. Like usually when I send a box and they know, I indicate in the box what's kind of in the box. They kind of instruct you to do that. They know when a box comes in with a certain label to get to it quickly. They didn't get to it quickly. Usually it's that same day or the next day, it's done. It's been over a week and it's still sitting there. That hasn't happened for a very, very long time. And in fact, the only time that's happened is when I've forgotten to put the indicators on the box. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe comic submissions are up for them. I don't know. It could be the Todd McFarlane thing is really busy. I know I've gotten a hell of a lot of books for Todd McFarlane. So I don't know. I don't know. Lord Thoth, I could not agree with you more. Thank goodness it's Friday. Chris also says, McCann, how you doing, Chris? I tried to book pickup tomorrow. I was going to ask about McFarlane, but you were booked up. You could listen, if you're just dropping off, Chris, come on in. It's nice to know how many people are coming to the shop. That's why I have that. But if you need to come in, come in. I am booked solid tomorrow, but I'll make time for you. No problem. No problem. Spiro says, I'll be there. I'll be bringing a couple of Todd's books this weekend to your shop. Good. Good. Look forward to seeing him tomorrow. And tell Phil everything's okay. I booked him in as well. Hector says, what's a turnaround time if you just ship back press items and we sit to grade? Well, Hector, you get two options there. Turnaround time just for us to work on a book. Again, depends how many. If it's like, say, under 10 books, probably a few weeks, 2-3 weeks, If it's a ton, like 100 books, which sometimes happens, it could take about a month or so, but not too long. And then if you want, I can do what I do for a lot of people. If you send me the CGC or the PSA or the CBCS forms, I can ship them for you to the grading company. That's not a problem. You just give me the paperwork and I'll get you a good rate and I'll ship it for you. If it's going to CGC, I'll just pop it in with my stuff. Not a problem at all. That's the cheapest, actually. I use priority next day shipping. For like 10 books, I'll charge you probably like $20, maybe not even that much, to ship 10 books to CGC from me priority next day, $10. Or sorry, $20. It's really quite cheap. But if it's going to CBCS or PSA, I can do that for you too. But about a month or so. David, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I just don't know. It all started with them not answering emails, answering questions, following up. They'll say, hey, I'll follow up with you. They don't follow up. Like that just never was the case. That was never, I always spoke very highly of their customer service and their, I remember going back a while to a time when they screwed up shipping books back to me once. And they got on the phone with FedEx and they got on the phone with me and they had that fixed in no time, but they contacted me, they were ahead of the 8 ball. And they made sure everything was, they contacted me and said, hey man, this happened. We're going to fix it. We're going to call you tomorrow morning. They called me in the morning. FedEx called me. They got on top of it. There was, they've had some really good moments of where I've been like, wow, really impressed with their customer service. The last 4 or 5 or 6 months, I can't say, I've been too impressed. Chris, just bring cannolis. Yeah, you bring cannolis, you get into the shop, no problem. Guys, you don't need an appointment to drop off books, but if you do come on a day that's busy, please, if you're in a rush, probably not a good time to come. If you're going to come to around 1:30, as I'm kind of slowing down a little bit. But if you're not in a rush, you don't mind waiting, I will fit you in. And most guys are coming in to shoot the shit too and just kind of hang out for a while. And that's totally cool. Totally cool. Dan, it says time for Kevin to start his own grading. No, Dana, why you say that? It's like, no, you start it. David, I have got some overgraded books recently. I'll take them. I've seen that. I really have. Okay, let's keep going here. I haven't done box number 1 yet. All right, box number 1. Another 9.8, which is good to see. We got a Infinity Gauntlet number 1 and a 9.8. That's a newsstand edition. We've got another early ASM book. We've got an ASM number 86 and a 6.0 with the Black Widow cover. Excuse me. Amazing Spider-Man 59 and a 6.0. an Amazing Spider-Man number 7 and a 9.8. Really cool black cat cover. And that's a variant edition. Lee Bermejo cover. And then we got a JSA Vampirella Volume 7, number 1, Bruce Timm authenticated autograph right there. Cool. Guys, I am trying to bring the Comic Doctor to Canadians all across the nation. If you have a local comic shop that you think would like to partner with me, I want to partner with them. So if you can recommend to them or to me their name or give my name to them, I would love to set up an opportunity to speak with them and to offer the Comic Doctor services, whether it's pressing and cleaning or CGC grading. Yeah, you know, I do offer discounted shipping labels and things like that. And oftentimes I had that huge promotion going on for a long time where I actually paid for shipping labels for clients to get their books. I mean, that'll come back again next year, probably. I thought, wouldn't it be kind of fun to partner up with some comic shops, local comic shops all across this great nation of ours. And you know what? Promote them as well, too. Bring them on the show, talk to them about their store and what they have to offer at their store. If they have online stores or what have you. So if you know somebody who would be keen on that, please feel free to pass my information on to them or send me an email. Let me know who they are, and I'll reach out to them myself. Thanks, guys. Hi, Dave. How's it going? We talked about that already, but no, not yet. Getting there, hopefully this week. What did it for you? Our undying love and gratitude. Okay. Let's keep going. One more box to go. One more box to go here. Now, this next box is a one client order, I believe. If I am not mistaken, where did I put all the? These are all the submission forms for these. All right. All right, let's keep going. Was sad that R&D and I was shocked that they went. They shut. It was COVID that kind of did them in, I believe. Yeah, they were good guys. Now that's a good idea, Hector. That's a fantastic idea. Hit that like button, guys. It does help me out a lot. Cody's in the house. Cody, 9.8 Gauntlet Newsstand. Man, that's a book that eluded me in high grade. Congrats. All right. Okay, guys, here we go. This is a whole mixed bag here of moderns. Stuff you don't usually see too much. Now, this came from a collection from a fellow who just wanted his stuff done. He goes, I don't care. I want it done. I don't care what the grades. It's my old books. I want them done. So you got a whole interesting batch of books. Some books you don't usually see too often, but some you do. So there's some you usually see and some you usually don't. But anyways, here they are. We have Star Comics Defenders of the Earth, number 1, and a newsstand edition. So things you don't see too often. That's pretty cool. And a 9.6. And then you have an Amazing Spider-Man 362 and an 8.5. Guys, if you're interested in Whatnot sales, Charlo's having another Comic Loft Whatnot sale tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I believe. He's been going on Whatnot Live pretty much every single week. He's really trying to push the envelope on this whole Whatnot thing and see how good it can get. So if you're interested in buying, it's mostly modern books, but he throws some older stuff in there as well, too. Check him out tomorrow. And again, I'm at the shop tomorrow from 11 o'clock until 2 p.m. I'll be there. I have appointments booked all the way throughout, but if you're in the area, come on by. If you want to drop off books for pressing, cleaning, and grading, or just an assessment, come on by. I'll fit you in. I always do. Yeah, come on by. Tarzan 29 newsstand edition is the last issue of Tarzan in a 9.4. Again, when have you ever seen this last issue of Tarzan presented here? Very, very rare. We've got Defenders, the new Defenders, number 152, Canadian price variant, also a last issue in a 9.0. Focus is kind of going on and off for me here. Hey, Lee, glad you can make it. Good to see you. if you collect what you like, you can never go wrong 100%. You know, I think guys that get really into the value of the books, and don't get me wrong, we've all been down that road. We all get kind of seduced by that. But I mean, if we get too caught up in the values of the books and, oh, you know, we didn't get this grade, or, oh, I missed that book, or I sold it too cheap, or whatever, I missed that book, or I missed that opportunity, it becomes almost, I don't know, you lose the fun, you know? I think the value part of it, the monetary gain you may receive in collecting these things can be a lot of fun. But at the same time, you know, the old stories, the artwork, the nostalgia, I think that's what we should be searching for first and foremost. Anyways, Marvel Age 63 and a 9.8. That's a cool cover right there. Russ Heath cover. That's a great cover. I love that cover. Okay. We have another Defenders of the Earth, a different one, and a 9.2. This is a straight, I think, direct edition. There you go. Lord Todd says, I don't have that issue. Neither do I, actually. Well, here we go. Venom #1, Lethal Protector, and a 9.8. That's a newsstand copy, I guess. It didn't make mention of that, but I would assume it is. CGC does not guarantee they're going to catch or mention newsstand. So if you expect to get them to take it back to do it, they won't. They miss it. Another Marvel Age, number 102, with a Rob Liefeld cover in a 9.4. We've got an 8.5 copy of ASM 361. This is a newsstand edition. This one's here just for Sam. Hey, Hollywood, how's it going? Silver Surfer Volume 3, number 49, and an 8.5 as well. Newsstand. Yeah, Dave, I have sent in quite a few PSA books for grading. I've kind of paused it for now. There's a bit of a kerfuffle. I'm just waiting to get it all settled, and then I'll send some more in. Yeah, to answer your question, yes, I have. Nothing to show tonight. And you know what? It's not easy to show PSA slabs. And this is probably a good thing, because when you get PSA slabs back, as you guys probably know this already, it doesn't come in a bag like this where you can just pop the book out. It has a protective plastic sleeve on it, and then it's put inside of a Ziploc bag. It gets sealed. So they're not really easy to do an unboxing on. And also, I don't know if I want to unbox them, because then the owner gets them back and they've all been, you know, kind of open, and maybe the owner doesn't want them to be, you know, all that plastic protective coverings removed. So I don't know how I'm going to do unboxings for PSA books, because like I said, the clients probably want them to be as protected as possible until they get them back. So that's a bit of a concern, I guess. We have an Avengers number 326, first appearance of Rage, in an 8.5. What is my preference, Dave asks. That's a loaded question, that is. What is my preference? Well, oh boy, that's take an hour. I don't know. Look, all the slabs, PSA, CGC, PGX, CBCS, the slabs are all fine. They're all fine slabs. They do the job. For me, it's the relationship I have with these companies. Who's making my life easy? Who's making my life hard? And I can straight up say CGC. I've dealt with these guys for almost 20 years now, and it's like this with CGC. Sometimes they've been very good. They've been on the ball. Other times they've really slipped. They've had a lot of issues with scandals over the last several years. But I know them. I know what to expect with them. All my shipping is kind of figured out with them. And so things are running, for the most part, tickety-boo with CGC. So on that side of things, you like what you know, you got it. PSA, I was very excited for. I work with the comic people, and they're fantastic. Danny and Elizabeth and the rest. And the first set of boxes came, no problem. They overbilled me on a couple of things. They reimbursed me. They overcharged me on a couple other things. I'm still waiting for reimbursement on that, and it's going to come, but it's taking time. The cards have been a little awful, like it's not been a pleasure to do the cards with them. I'll be honest. Again, when I talk to them, they're fine, but when someone screws up, it causes me a lot of problems. First causes me time. My focus is going. It's causing me time to deal with the problems, and it's causing me money because I'm paying for their mistakes. And I have not seen any reimbursement or even an offer of reimbursement for their mistakes. So that's where I'm at with PSA. It's still very early. I don't know what to say. I hope things will get rectified and we can continue. Because I'd like to offer this service, but again, I'm not going to offer any service if it's causing me headaches, and again, I'll talk about the video cassettes, the VHS tapes, and the cards I sent to CGC just recently. They all were shipped incorrectly. I'm not sending any of those to CGC ever again. Unless you, the client, says, Kevin, send my cards and I'll pay whatever the shipping is. I don't care. If that's your attitude and you don't mind paying whatever CGC is going to charge, I'll send your stuff for you. I don't care. But I'm not going to offer it. I'm not going to say, yeah, that's what we do. So it's an active thing we offer, but I will happily do it if you want me to do it, but just so long as you're paying whatever CGC is putting down in terms of their FedEx bill. And again, it could be exorbitant. It's silly. Anyways, sorry to go off on that. You've heard me say it to you guys before, but anyways, he also says CBCS has new slabs and they are very comparable to CGC, if not better. I've heard. Wow, they're still in the game. Yeah, I won't even bother with CBCS only because of the mishap I had with them years ago. They sent books to the wrong place. They didn't fix the problem. I had to fix the problem. It caused me a week of stress. And then when it was all said and done, I had to pay extra shipping to get the book back from the wrong place they sent it to. And not once did they say, man, we're sorry. We caused you the stress. Let me throw you that $150 to have it rerouted. No, I paid that out of my own pocket. And I say, we're done. Close my account. And I'm finished. Now, PSA, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I've asked for certain things from them and they said they could do it. They obviously can't. I think they tried. It just didn't work out. So I'm not jumping the gun on PSA yet. But that said, if it continues that way, then yeah, I'm going to have to back out. It is what it is. Life's too short. And I just don't have time with that. It's time and money, man. It's all time and money. Time more than anything, to be honest. If I got to pay a few $100s because something got screwed up, okay, live and learn. But when I got to spend, 3-4 hours, I'm not all at once, but I got to spend 3 or 4 hours on the phone, writing emails, reminding, writing emails, phone. I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. But again, it's still early. We'll see how it goes. Hector says, I did a PSA reveal video and just left the plastic film on the slabs. Yeah, you had to. It would take you 100 years, right? What is Lee Rogers saying? Hey, David, I'm still holding out on PSA until I get more feedback. A lot of people are. Jack's asking if these books are from early October. I have no idea, Jack. I think so. It says on here, October 6th. These I'm showing you right now belong to one client. Not the first batch, but the second box. Lord Thoughts, I want to get a comic slab by PSA to check it out. Again, the problem with that is I will not send one comic anymore because it's just too expensive. I have to have like a minimum of like 3 to 5 comics. And the reason being is or I have to build a box of 10 because they ship their books back in boxes of 10. I can't send one book there and back is going to cost you $150 for shipping. Now, again, Lord Thoth, if I can get PSA Canada on board and figure out what's going on, again, I'm totally open to work. At first, I wasn't going to work with them, but just seeing how expensive and how much it is to ship and also to see the trouble that is causing them down there to try to ship the stuff back to me the way I've requested, I may have no choice but to go to PSA Canada. And again, I have no problem doing that, but I ain't going to do it till I see the guy's face, look him in the eyes, get to know him and understand how he's running things. And if he can tell me if the turnaround time is not going to be like extended by like months and months and months. Like if he's getting stuff, he's only sending shipments every 3 months, I'm not interested, right? But if he's sending, weekly or bi-weekly shipments, and okay, that's okay. And how much is that going to cost? So I need to hear this stuff from them. Once I get that information, then that's a whole different ball game, right? Yeah, Dave, I haven't talked to anybody yet. Like I said, I'm trying to get a hold of him. There's no phone number. If you have a phone number, I'll take it from you. And there's no email address, at least one that they're going to respond to. People on Instagram were complaining because there was no response from him. So that's not good. I need to talk to somebody. Wait till GameStop starts accepting comics along the cards. Yeah, that might happen. Again, what do you need me for then? Honestly, guys, I'm happy just to get the work on the cards, work on the comics. If you want to go to GameStop, go to GameStop. I mean, that's the most convenient thing. It's convenient for me because I'm not dealing with any of that nonsense, any of the shipping and tariffs and whatever. Right? That would be ideal. And that's honestly, at this point, that's kind of where the cards are concerned. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I'm leaning on more doing the work on the cards, prepping the cards, getting them ready for grading. I'm working on a new website, as you probably all know. And one of the services we're going to have is your cards are going to be prepped, put in the proper sleeves, put in the proper semi-rigid sleeves, and then placed actually in a box ready to ship. You just take the box, slap a label on it, off it goes. That's kind of the service I want to offer you guys. Because I think me getting involved as a middleman to get the cards to PSA is becoming a little too problematic. And there's tons of guys who just take cards. They don't do any work on them. They'll just take them and ship them for you. You can just go there. Why do I have to get involved? Especially if it's not working, right? But again, we'll see. We'll see where it's going. But that's where I'm kind of leaning. The nightmare that is that border for shipping is massive. Honestly, Lord Thought, the border for shipping has not been a problem. If you properly fill out your forms, if you set up your shipments, according to their specifications, it's no problems. My comics within, like, I'll drop a comic box up at FedEx at 8:00 at night, and it'll be there the next morning at 10 a.m. No problems. What service are you using? Are you putting the proper documents in the box, on the box, electronically? And if you're not, you're going to get stung. I have not been stung with comics. There's no tariffs on comics. And only with cards, if the cards are manufactured, I think, in Japan or China, then there could be some issues. That has not been an issue for me. So far, so good. GameStop won't happen. Comics aren't that popular as sports cards and video games at the moment. You're right, guys. Comics are really slowing down. Like, they really, really are. Like, and if you go over, and I'm sure David can also back me up on this one. If you go over to GP Analysis and look at the value and the price of even key books like Amazing Fantasy 15 and any Silver Age Grail, they are dropping. Like, values are dropping big time. It is actually starting to become a very good time to go shopping, my friends. The prices are coming down. Now, will they go back up again? Who knows? Hi, Bad Armor. I look forward to seeing you. And comics are more of a niche hobby. I don't think it'll hold up at a GameStop. Yeah. And you want these guys handling your books? Like, do you really want to drop your comic books off? Look, I have a hard enough time. When I heard that they're using GameStop to drop off cards, I'm like, are you serious? I would not drop off my card or my comic to anybody who does not know how to handle that stuff. And I know who's working at GameStop, and no offense, they're young men and women that work there, but they're in their 20s or late teens. And sorry, I ain't dropping off my $1,000 comic book or my $1,000 card there. That's my opinion. Whatever. Hector says, that's why I've moved to magazines more. That hobby is in its infancy. It is. And I've been saying that for a long time. Hector, are those the ones that I did for you? I want to see your video. Please send me the link. What do you collect, sir? What's your favorite hero or series? Me collect? Who has time to collect anymore, Jack? I am mostly a Marvel guy. I do. Hi, how are you? I'm online right now. I'm doing a live stream. I'm going out with Roy tonight for dinner. She'll know. I told her.
I know, but we want to do wings tonight, and then we're going to get wings tomorrow. So
okay, I'm online, so I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, guys. So dinner plans. That's what happens when you do a Friday night stream, guys. Getting back to that. So yeah, I collect what I like now. So I have a lot of the keys already. I was always a big Spider-Man fan, Hulk fan, X-Men fan. I'm starting to get more into the Golden Age stuff now. If I see Golden Age books that really, appeal to me, I'll pick them up. I really like the Silver Age cartoon type books, like Flintstones, the Jetsons. That's the Scooby-Doo. Those types of books are starting to really, pique my interest as well. And of course, toys. I'm a big toy, Star Wars toys, any toys from my childhood. I'm totally into that as well too. So it's not just comics, but am I actively collecting? No, I have no time to actively collect, but I'm always looking. Don't get me wrong. If I'm out somewhere and I see something that I want, yeah, I'm buying it. I think you can't take the collector out of, you just can't stop being a collector. Once you're a collector, you're always going to be a collector. And it's funny. I've seen so many guys come to the shop and say, yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I'm not buying any more books. I'm not buying any more of this. I'm not buying any more of that. They come in the next week and they start all over again. So it's hard to stop being a collector once you start. Yes. Oh, Gord's here. Man, just found out you're on. Hey, Kev. Hey, Gord, how are you? Good seeing you last week. Dave says, I've got all the cards I bought from Pristine Auction. Curious to see what you think or if they need work at all. Yeah, bring them on by sometime, Dave. No women allowed. Pre-cord horror, yeah, too expensive. They're too rich for my blood, unfortunately. Yeah, heading out with Roy and shortly. I got to get going here because Roy and I are going out for a bite. Haven't seen him in a few weeks. Let's keep going. I got another 10 or so books to share with you. We have, again, Captain America number 354, newsstand edition in an 8.5. We have an Incredible Hulk 386 in a 9.8. We have Solus number 1. I could say I've never ever graded this book before. Cross-Gen Comics from 2003 in a 9.2. Sectors number 1, Canadian price variant 8.5. We've got a Silver Sable and the Wild Pack number 1 in a 9.8, and that's a newsstand edition. Wolverine number 7 in a 9.4. Also, a lot of newsstands in this this lot. We got a 9.2 Web of Spider-Man 70. A Hulk 340 in a 9.2 newsstand. We've got Venom Lethal Protector number 5 in a 9.8. Oh, here comes a nice one. Here comes a nice one. This is probably one of the more valuable ones, I think. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry. I got it mixed up. Sorry. I thought this was a McFarlane cover, but it's not. We got Conan the Barbarian 258 newsstand edition in a 9. Still a nice book in a 9.8. Is there a way of showing the chat on my screen? I think there was a way of doing that. No, that's not it. Here. No. Show comments on. Oh, there we go. Iron Man 282 newsstand edition, first appearance of War Machine. Oh, Tarzan number 25. Newsstand edition in a 9.8. That's what, 1979. That's a great book. Bit of a miscut there, too, or a misprint there. See how it's kind of on an angle there? Married with Children in a 9.2. Newsstand edition. And last but not least, Uncanny X-Men 266. First appearance of Gambit, but they were pretty generous with this one. And a 9.2. All right, there you go. Got some more questions here. I'll get to that. what you guys are saying here. David, it's all a matter of getting Gen Z and the future gen into comics. I think eventually that's going to fade. People don't really read books anymore. You're right. Bad Armor, that's happened to me in the past. Dump my collection, never again. Years pass, the disease calls me back. Now I'm a lifer moving. Yeah, well, that's happened to me too many, many times. With all the different stuff I collect, whether it be comics or toys or whatever, I always find something to get me back into it again. Excuse me. And a lot of guys came out during COVID is when a lot of guys kind of rediscovered their collections when they're at home, they're not working, they got time off, they just go to their parents, visit their parents, and my old comic book collection, my old toy collection, and they rediscovered that passion, that love for comic books and what have you. And yeah, that's why comics exploded during COVID, right? But I do agree with David. But then a lot of kids aren't really reading comics anymore, right? They're reading them on the computer. It's hard to say. Father Son Vintage Card says, question: how hard is it to get moderate staple rust off an Invincible 1 centerfold? I don't think I would do that. I think I would replace the staple. If it hasn't, if the staple is, if you start scratching, trying to clean that stuff off, and they even suspect it, they're going to give you a purple label. They're going to say staple cleaned. I would recommend simply finding a ratty looking comic, from the same publisher, from the same year, and just if there's no rust migration to the paper, that is, and just do a staple swap. And if you do it right, they won't know, and bing, bang, boom, away you go. That's what I would recommend. So you start cleaning it and wiping the rust off. They see even just a slight scratch, restoration grade. Anyways. Hey, Kevin, good to see you, buddy. Can't wait to see what my Mario and Luigi comics come back graded at. Me too. Was that your Mario book that I had up on Instagram this week? Digital media and social media has affected all prices. It surely has. Well, this whole Pokemon thing, it's going to crash too, guys. It goes in cycles. And I do think comics are not dead yet. Now, don't get me wrong. Will they ever be dead completely? Totally flatline? Probably. But I think comics still have a shelf life of at least 20 more years, maybe 30 more years. I think there'll be another surge. Don't know when. Who knows, right? But right now is a good time to start hunting down those Silver Age books because the prices are quite low. Even just grab GP analysis for like a month, pay the $15, go on there and just research and see for yourself. The prices are really hitting lower than it was even, just before COVID hit. And it was going like this before COVID, right? And then it went like this. But yeah, it's crazy. People hate the truth, but kids don't read paper or anything. It's all phone and video games. Yep. But a lot of video games and these movies are dealing with these characters. And if someone is a diehard fan of that character, they will often go off and look for their first appearances, which happen to be in comic books. I'm not saying that's everybody, but some will. And it's of course different than us who used to go to comic book stores. You're right. But I think we were a minority back then too. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to say. I don't know. I started leaning more towards Marvel Legends figures. They're cool. I like them. I don't have any of those because I don't want to get started. Hey, Doc. Liam says, what do you think of Gold Key comics from the 60s and value of any of these? I got a bunch from my uncle's, lots of Donald Ducks, Mickey Mouse, Goobsy, and the Nooch, that kind of stuff. When it comes to the cartoon stuff, it's the Del 4 color stuff tends to be the big money. A lot of that Gold Key stuff are reprints of the earlier stuff. And I'm not saying that the Gold Key stuff are worth nothing. They're just not worth, a lot are not worth big money. But there are some, like the Scooby-Doo Gold Key #1. It's a monster book. So you're going to find exceptions to the rules. There are Gold Key books that are really popular. I think my, what's it called? What's that show called from the 70s? The pot induced one. The puppet guys and I forget the names. It's going to come to me in a second. Anyways, it's a Gold Key book and it's a few $100s. What the hell's that show called I used to watch? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember the name of the damn show. They were like really the witch was all kind of creepy looking. It was really weird. It was like puppets and big mascots. I forget the name. One of you probably know what I'm talking about. 1970s, really psychedelic and really odd and strange. And it probably terrify most kids who watch today. But I used to love it. HR Puff and stuff. There it is. That's a gold key book. I have it. And a high grade one of those is several $100s, maybe even more. So, I mean, it all depends. But a lot of it, unfortunately, is just not worth too much. But I appreciate it. I like it. And you don't get a lot of guys coming into the shop and asking for it. You know, the Delphor color stuff, though, however, you do. The Mickey Mouse, the Donald Duck, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's popular. Hey, Blade Man, how you doing? Is that Roy for me? I'm up north deer hunting. Well, good luck. Stay warm. The snow is coming. Maybe the snow is already there. Train collecting to be huge. Everything evolves. Yeah, well, it still is, man. There's still a huge train collecting community out there. We've got a huge train show that comes to our area twice a year, and it's packed. So there are guys who still go for that sort of thing. 20 states are in jeopardy of hitting recession. Comic prices will drop even more here pretty soon. Well, David, yeah, I mean, that's the way it's been over the last, I've said this since the last 5 or 6 years. Look, this is a luxury, right? We're having fun with this stuff. And I'll even go as far as to say, even the comic book pressing and the grading. I mean, in the old days, when I first started doing this, the average submission was probably 10 to 15 books. Average. Now it's 3 books, my minimum. 3 to 5 books is the average submission. Now, I got guys who send me 25 or 50. Hey, I got guys who come and drop off 100 books. The recession doesn't affect everybody, but it affects a lot of people. And those it does affect, they got to claw back on the spending, obviously. So, you know, I've always said comic books or milk. What are you going to buy, right? So, of course, if you're low on funds, your hobbies are going to take a hit, whether it be comic books, cards, whatever, train collecting, you know, whatever, it's going to take a hit, right? No problem. No problem there, father and son vintage cards. Hector, what will kids collect in 20 years when they have real money? Pokemon easy. Yeah, maybe Pokemon. My son is really hardcore into his video games, and he appreciates the history of video games. He'll go back and buy video games from the 90s. And he was, you know, my son was born like in 2010. So, I mean, you know, he loves his video games and he collects it. He's got hundreds of them. So that's his jam, you know. Will he venture off into, and he's no interest in Pokemon? He did, but not really hardcore. Will he like comics eventually? I don't know. Maybe because of me, he will, but I don't know. Pokemon has been going since 1999, and it's more popular than it's ever been. It is right now. Again, we'll see. It's a bubble. It will crash. They all do. Yeah, Dave, I agree with you there. HR Puppy Treasury Edition. You are the man, and so is Blade Man. Very good, Steve. Gord got it too. That's the one. Geez, Lee says I gave away Pokemon for Halloween, and kids wanted them more than the candy. Oh, you must have been a very popular house, man. I wonder how many comic book collectors are affected by the SNAP benefits being shut down. Yikes. The SNAP, what does that mean? SNAP benefits. I'm not sure what that means. Am I missing something? SNAP benefits. Let me know what that is. Is that an American thing? I'm not sure what that is. Cody says, I feel like key comics will always be valuable. Printing comics might die off like everything else printed in paper, but that will help the collectability, like DVDs and VHS or old video games. Look, I agree. I think everything will have its collectability. Will the values be exorbitant like they always will be? Like I was talking to Glenn yesterday out in BC about Amazing Fantasy 15, how the price has come down on that book too. There are thousands of that book available to be bought. It's not like a really rare book. It's an expensive book because everybody wants it, but is it always going to be that valuable? Is it going to always garner that kind of money? Maybe. Cody, I think you're right. People are going to want that book, but are they going to pay $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for a high grade copy? $1 million? Will they? Again, it all comes back to supply and demand. If there's only 196 available, only one, then that one will be worth crazy money. When you've got like 1,000 copies at 1.8, another 1,000 copies at 2, another 2,000 copies at a 0.5, you know, there's lots out there. So why are people spending that kind of money on it? Again, supply and demand, right? Do you have info to send you some books for grading? I mean, yeah, of course, David. You go on over to thecomicdoctor.com, thecomicdoctor.com. All my information is there. All my pricing is in Canadian. So if you're an American client, just knock about 35% off. That's kind of what you're looking at. You can find about me and Napur and Charlo. They're all there as well. A bit about us. And it's my old website, a little bit clunky. But again, a new website is underway. It should be ready for early December. Yeah, I'm excited to share that with you all. So stick around. Oh, I see. Okay. Government assistance. Exactly. If people are struggling to eat, they're not going to get their books pressed, cleaned, and graded. Like, let's be honest, right? They're going to sell them. They're going to burn them for heat. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, when things get better, and I hope they will, and people have extra money to spend, then things like hobbies, I'll give you another example. You guys all know I have my old Camaro, my 81 Camaro, and I've kind of played with selling it, for the last little while. I posted it last year, and I posted it the year before, just for a few weeks to see what kind of traffic I would get. And boy, I got tons and tons of traffic. 2 years ago, last year, this year I put it on, I had one person contact me. So, luxury item, it's a toy. People are hurting out there, and they're not going to be buying toys to drive around in when they have to make, rent payments, or mortgage payments, or pay for braces for their kids, or, buy groceries. So yeah, this is a luxury, and we can enjoy it. We've scaled it back now, right? We scaled it back, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the next minute 1 minute the president is issuing refund checks during COVID. And the next minute they're taking away all food assistance. Well, it kind of happened here too. And a lot of people abused it. I knew a lot of people, I'm not mentioning any names, but I knew a lot of people that were taking assistance. They didn't need assistance. They were taking it. It was free money, and they were taking it, and that's why you saw, again, the comic market boom during that, because everyone got in. Hey, Colin, how's it going? Still want to get together, buddy. I don't know when we're going to do. Maybe Christmas at this point. Anyways, guys, it's been just about an hour. I like to keep my videos at around an hour, so I'm going to stop it there. Again, if you are new here, my friends, please consider hitting the subscribe button, the like button. Helps me with the analytics. And if you have any comic books you'd like to have pressed, cleaned, potentially graded, go over to thecomicdoctor.com. Actually, I'll put it over here. Go on over to thecomicdoctor.com or comicdoctor.com. They both work. And check us out. All the information is there on me and Napur and Charlo, and what we do, how we can help you. And I'm been doing this for over almost 20 years now. I'm still going strong, and happy to help if you need some assistance in getting your comic books looked at, worked on, graded, what have you. We are branching into cards too. We've done some pretty great work with cards, man. I'm telling you. Again, if you have cards you want to have prepped for grading, that I can tell you we can help you with straight up. We can certainly help you with that. The grading side of it, still up in the air, kind of pause a little bit right now, but we can certainly help you get the cards ready to go. So if any of that's of interest of you, by all means, you can give us a call at 905-449-5680, or of course you could email me at email me at info@thecomicdoctor.com. Guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope my blood pressure remains constant and low so I can have a good weekend, because last weekend wasn't so great. And Will be back again sometime next week, because I do have 2 more boxes to share, and I got a ton of books at CGC that will be coming back soon as well, too, when they finally open the box, that is. Guys, have a great night as well. Take care. Talk to you soon. And for all the newbies here, welcome. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao.